Hey guys, and welcome back to the Political Whiz, where you will find all the whiz on politics and history. We will be taking a deeper look into the special election in the 25th District of California, which will be held on Tuesday, May 12, 2020. But first, let's take a look into the background behind the vacancy. So the previous representative was Democrat Katie Hill. She was first elected in 2018 after defeating Republican incumbent Steve Knight. She served in Congress for only 10 months, and that was due to a scandal that ended her career. In response to the scandal, she decided the best thing to do was to resign. Now, let's take a look into the Democratic candidate for this election, Christie Smith. Christie Smith is a member of the California State Assembly representing the state's 38th district, which covers half of the 25th Congressional District of California. She first ran for the seat in 2016 but lost narrowly to the Republican incumbent. However, she ran for that seat again in 2018 and flipped the State Assembly District blue for the first time since 1978. She is a native of Santa Clarita for those who are curious where in the district she lives, and is obviously a candidate for the 2020 special election. She has been endorsed by many notable people, including former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and of course, Katie Hill. It's time now to take a deeper look into the Republican candidate, Mike Garcia. Mike Garcia is a first-generation American whose father immigrated here in 1959. He served as an aviator in the Iraq War and flew over places such as Baghdad and Fallujah. After having served for 20 years and acquiring 1,400 flying hours, he was honorably discharged from the military and served as an executive of the Raytheon Company, which is an aviation company. Like Christie Smith, he is a Santa Clarita native, and he is a Republican candidate for the special election for California's 25th district. He has been endorsed by many notable people, including President Trump and Steve Knight, who I should mention was defeated by Katie Hill in 2018. We're now going to take a look into the voting trend for the 25th Congressional District of California. The 25th District of California has a mixed voting pattern, and that is because it tends to vote for both Democrats and Republicans at the state and presidential level, as you can see on the graph towards your top right. This seat has been held by Republicans for 26 years, which is shown on the bottom right, until Katie Hill was elected in 2018. Prior to redistricting in 2013, the Republican candidate for this seat won by over 30 points. If we look at the 2016 presidential election, this district voted for Hillary Clinton by 7 points and voted for Democrat Kamala Harris for the Senate by 20 points. Republicans narrowly won their races for this district in 2016, which I will explain more in the upcoming slides. Based on these trends, we can say that this used to be a safe red district prior to redistricting, and that is because before this district included counties such as Mono and Inyo counties, which are Republican counties, and because they are not a part of the 25th district anymore, it has made the seat quite competitive. Let's take a look at the demographics of this district. The Cook Partisan Voting Index of this district is even. For those who do not know what a CPVI is, it is a method of measuring the leaning of a constituency, whether it's towards the Democrats or the Republicans. In terms of the race population, about 45% of those living in the district are white and about 53% are non-white. The median income of this district stands at about $82,200. Based on this, the demographics give an advantage to the Democrats, and this is because, according to the exit polls from the 2018 midterms, those making between 50K and 100K voted for Democrats, and the median income of this district falls in this category. In addition, the majority of the voters are non-white, which can give an advantage to the Democrats only if there is increased voter turnout. However, this is not guaranteed, since there will be non-white groups that might not vote for the Democratic candidate and guarantee a Republican victory. And now for the 2016 and 2018 elections for this district. For this, I will not only be explaining the results for the 25th Congressional District of California, but also explain the results for the 38th State Assembly District, since it covers half of the Congressional District. The Congressional District results are towards the right of this line, and the State Assembly District results are towards the left of this line. Based on these charts, the Republicans narrowly won these districts in 2016, the Congressional seat flipped Democrat after 26 years, and the State Assembly seat flipped Democrat after 40 years. This shows that according to these results, the district has started trending in favor of the Democrats. Now we will look into the primary election that was recently held for this special election. There were 12 candidates that ran for this election. According to these results, the Democratic candidate Christie Smith and the Republican candidate Mike Garcia advanced to the general election, which will be held this Tuesday, May 12, 2020. If we add up the party votes, a total of 50.4% of the votes went for the Democratic candidates and a total of 49.4% of the votes went for the Republican candidates, which shows how competitive this race might be this Tuesday, and again, slightly advantages to the Democrats. And now we will look into the money raised by both of these campaigns. According to OpenSecrets.com, Democrat Christie Smith has raised a total of $2.26 million and Republican Mike Garcia has raised about $2.24 million, which is only a difference of $21,000. Both campaigns have spent about $1.9 million, with Mike Garcia having more cash on hand than Christie Smith. Basing off these numbers, it once again shows how competitive this race is going to be because both candidates have equally raised enough money and both campaigns have nearly spent the same amount of money. However, if we see how much cash was raised, which is what's important for this section, it once again slightly gives an advantage to the Democrats due to raising slightly more money than Republican Mike Garcia. I believe that the most important data to look at is the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and Trump's approval ratings and handling of this virus. According to the Morning Consult, President Trump has a high disapproval rating in California. When President Trump first took office, he had a disapproval rating of 48% to 42% approving of him in California. However, he now has a disapproval rating of 62% compared to 34% of Californians approving of him. Since the majority living in California are Democrats, they have highly disapproved of President Trump's handling of the virus. According to 538.com, approval of President Trump's handling of this health crisis has decreased about 14 points with Democrats and only stands at 13% of Democrats approving of his leadership. Another poll from 538 shows that a majority of Americans disapprove of the president handling this virus, which is shown on the graph towards your bottom right, that 51% of Americans disapprove of his leadership to only 43% of Americans who approve of his leadership. And the people of the 25th Congressional District might vote for the Democratic candidate as a referendum on the president's handling of the virus and might vote for the Democrat as a rebuke to the president. Finally, we will be looking at what my take on all this is. Based on what we know, this was a safe Republican district prior to redistricting. Congressional and state assembly districts flipped to the Democrats after decades of Republican control. The Cook Partisan Voting Index is even when it comes to measuring towards which political party for this district tends to lean more. There is a possibility that Christie Smith might win in response to the high disapproval rating of the president and his response to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, voters might vote for the Republican candidate Mike Garcia in rebuke to the inappropriate conduct that was revealed by right-wing media groups on Katie Hill. I honestly believe that the Democrat Christie Smith will win since this district has started trending more towards the Democrats and many in the state disapprove of the president and his handling on the virus. This wraps up my analysis and prediction for the 2020 special election of California's 25th district, which will be held this Tuesday, May 12, 2020. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Turn on the bell icon to be notified whenever I post. Please comment or suggest as it will help me improve my next videos. Follow me on Twitter at political_whiz. Thanks for watching.